when we're able to, change the world, money is not a problem. It comes with that.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Seven Figure Journey podcast, where we will be discussing the struggles and lessons learned along the journey of a seven-figure entrepreneur. It's my great pleasure to welcome our guest today, Mr. Loon Yu with MetaNovas Biotech. Loon, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. Thanks for inviting me.
You bet. We're excited to learn a little bit more about you and about your business. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, please share with us your story. Where did your entrepreneurial journey begin? Where have you been able to get to? Maybe share a few key lessons learned along the way, but ultimately we want to hear your journey.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so this is Luan. I'm the co-founder and CTO at MetaNovas Biotech. So we're a biotech startup that's using AI and knowledge graph to help consumer brands to create better products that can yield real clinical benefits to their consumers. So we started this actually back in 2021, but a little bit before that, during the COVID quarantine time, I hung out with my CEO. She worked at NVIDIA before. So she worked on the drug discovery platform called Clara at NVIDIA. And I worked at the United Health, managing some of the flagship digital products at United Health. So we were discussing our ambitions and what we would like to do in the future. And we find out that at this era of the AI, we would like to use AI to, solve some fundamental scientific problems and create something that can really benefit everyday everyone's life. So then my CSO, so back then my college friend joined us. He worked at Benevolent AI and Atomwise before, so worked on the drug discovery primarily. So we discussed what we could do to use AI for some of the health related or life science related stuffs, and we figured out that we are very interested in using AI to answer some of the important biological questions, like what really causes disease and what are the genetic drivers behind some of the disease phenotypes. So we want to solve those fundamental problems using AI. So we were very lucky that we had some angel investor friends back then to support us. We got our first batch of money from them to help us create this prototype, developing our first version of the technology. And back then we worked with the cancer hospital, a PI at a cancer hospital, to validate our technology. So we worked on a project to repurpose a oncology drug. So we would like to expand the indication of the oncology drug and see if the drug can be used to treat for another cancer as well. So we spent only 2 months using our model to look for potential targets, and the PI conducted some in vitro experiments to validate that. So that gave us a confidence that our technology is actually working. So,
Right.
So after that, we started working with pharma companies, pharma clients, to help them repurpose existing drugs so they can extend the drugs lifetime and
Right.
get profits from it. But I think at the early 2022, after we closed our first round of fundraising, we noticed that the biopharma industry had experienced a turbulence back at time. The stock price plummeted a lot during that time, and we had constantly have the re-lockdown, quarantine time. The COVID could come back and go, come back and go.
Right.
That's the period that has a lot of uncertainty. So we decided to pivot ourselves. So not just focusing on pharma clients, but look for opportunities outside pharma industry. So we shift our focus on cosmetic and beauty industry. Um, we had our first clients. Beiersdorf is a multinational personal care company. They headquarters in Germany. So we worked on a project to help them accelerate their research process. We quickly adapted our technology to help solve their problems, their particular problems that they concerned with, and we helped them reduce their R&D time from several months to just several weeks. So
Oh, wow.
it was pretty impressive, and
Yeah.
we got more confidence that even though the technology was first developed for pharma industries, but we can adapt it to apply to consumer health industry. So last year, I think middle of the last year, L'Oreal hosted a competition called Big Bang Beauty Innovation, Big Bang Beauty Tech Innovation Challenge. That's the full name. So we participated in that competition. We worked with the L'Oreal's R&D team on some projects to help them solve some very tough questions and problems they were facing at that time. And they got very impressed by our technologies, and we got the first place in that competition. We were the award winner out of that. So
Very nice.
yeah, being recognized by top tier global brand company like L'Oreal has skyrocketed our business. It has drawn a lot of interest from other consumer brands, other clients across the globe. So we have served a lot of clients since then, including P&G, Coty, including GSK. GSK spin-off called Halion is a nutraceutical spin-off from
Okay.
GSK, and also some food companies like Gulico is one of the largest food company in Japan, and we are currently also working with CP Food is one of the largest food company in Thailand. So we work with those top tier companies a lot, and we have a lot of clients since then. So by this year, we have already hit our what you call seven-figure revenue, and yeah, this is basically our journey. But since then, we besides providing consulting services, we also have some in-house developments or to develop novel ingredients that can solve some of the health problems brands are concerned with. Um, but that part is a little bit slow development because we have to test the safety and also efficacy. So it takes longer time. Our major revenue stream right now is from the consulting services with those top tier companies. But in the future, we definitely would like to also boost our sales of our novel ingredients, either the sales or the licensing of those ingredients. So we are working hard on that right now. Yeah. So
Awesome.
that's
Wow.
basically our journey.
No, what an awesome journey. I love your intentionality, and I hope everybody listening to this podcast paid attention to when you know you started to see the stock markets suffering in the
Mhm.
pharmaceuticals. You're like, you know what, we've got to do something so that we don't lose our momentum. So we're going
Yeah.
to pivot and adjust and change. And your intentionality around that was spot on. You looked at what you had and you said, okay, what leverage or what strengths do we have that we can leverage,
Mhm.
and what strengths do we need to go and develop so that we can modify and adjust what we're doing to go serve another industry so that we make sure that we're still staying relevant and so that we don't suffer from this stock market crash so that we can
Mhm.
continue to gain. And man, what an awesome thing for you to do, because you did that and then it sounds like you hit it. You hit gold, right? You got in with somebody early on, and then somebody else recognized what you were doing. Then you were able to go do their program that they were doing, and
Mhm.
then you got first place, which is awesome. Congratulations! And then by getting that notoriety from that top tier brand, then you started, you know, gaining from that. So I love the intentionality around, okay, we've got a problem, we've got to solve it. So
Mhm.
from the very beginning, originally, you're like, hey, we've got to utilize AI. There's a way to do this better so that we can really create value and help other people.
Hmm.
And this is something that as we develop, this is going to help everybody,
Yeah.
right? And so you're super, passionate about that and in there, and then your intentionality around that. So awesome story. Love that. Tell us. Let's dive a little bit back into as you're first starting out. You'd mentioned a couple people that you brought in at key moments
Hmm.
as you were building your team to get this set up. Maybe walk us through what that looked like. When you very first started, how many people were there? Was it just you and a co-founder? What that looked like, and then what that looked like as you started to grow and develop your team.
Yeah. So at the beginning, it's just co-founders. We have three co-founders. So my CEO
Okay.
is primarily in charge of business operations, fundraising. So I'm mostly in charge of the AI side, and my
Okay.
CSO. So he's mostly charged in the biology part. Um,
Awesome.
so that's like the triangle
Right.
we have built. But later on, we try to introduce more people into our team. Definitely, that was not an easy process because
Right.
we just started. We're very small. We're very young, and especially we're very young in terms of the company, also the founders. So we're in
Right.
our early 30s, late 20s, like that. So for biopharma industry, that's not a good sign because you're too young. People look at your, especially we talk to some pharma people, they probably at the late 40-ish, they have tons of experience in the industry. Then they look at us looking at some jokes,
Right. Right.
So we try to convince people to join us. It took us some time to attract the talents into our team. We definitely had someone come and go. That's very normal for a
Right.
startup.
Yeah.
But I realized that at least to us, very efficient or so far the best practice is we have someone interested in and believing believe in the things we're building,
Hmm.
believe in the vision we're trying to create, and we help them grow. Um,
Love that.
this is something that we find it cost efficient, and also it works well for both parties, because we need someone who can make commitment, not commitment to the company, but also commitment to this kind of um, uh, vision we are creating, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
believe that AI can really help solve those scientific problems. You're not working here just for money or for a future that you may become a billionaire or something like that. You need to believe that this is the important problem that we try to solve. Even though
That.
you're not that experienced, we are happy to help you grow. So we have several people in our team join us like that, and we can see them, join as fresh grads. They probably do not have as much experience as people working
Right.
this industry, but they grow very quickly. They become an independent leader. They become independent thinker, and they create creative solutions for us and for our clients. So we're happy to see that. And I think this is kind of like philosophy we're trying to
Yeah.
have right now. Maybe at the beginning we were like, we need to hire someone who has 30 or 40 years of experience, but right now we
Right.
think it's fine. We have someone less experienced, but someone has passion and motivation to grow. Yeah.
No, I love your intentionality around saying, hey, look, if you are somebody who can really, you know, buy in on our vision of
Mhm.
where we're headed, what we're trying to accomplish, then
Yeah.
we'll work with your skill set. We'll help you learn and grow and develop as a individual within the company and your skill sets. But we need people who are passionate about what we're trying to accomplish. And I love your comment specifically. And again, I hope everybody's paying attention. Loved your comment about it's not so much about, hey, you're trying to come and work for us, make a lot of money, and then hopefully become a billionaire one day. No, no, no. We're trying to go out and change the world,
Mm,
and we want people who can see that we're trying to do something bigger than ourselves. And if you
right.
get excited about that, we want you, and we're willing to help you grow as we grow so that we can grow together and go out and accomplish this thing. Love that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially, when we're able to, change the world, money is not a problem, it
Yeah.
comes with that. So,
Yeah.
so you have to dedicate yourself to a bigger, ambition, and then, other stuffs are not that important.
Yeah.
It will
No,
come
that's awesome.
naturally. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I love that. So good. So how many total employees do you guys have today?
We have about 22 full-time employees right now. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So, huge, huge shift from 3 to 20. That's awesome. And I love that you very intentionally said, and that was hard. It was not easy to start to build our team. And those of you who are listening in, as you're continuing to see growth and you're developing and growing and you're bringing in your team, pay attention to what Loon just said about being intentional about making sure you're bringing in the right people that fit your culture.
Mhm.
They're drawn into your vision, meaning they understand your purpose, their core values fit, and they're really excited about what you're trying to accomplish, your mission that you're trying to go after and create this new reality of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And here at your business, Loon, obviously,
Mhm.
right, you're trying to utilize this AI to solve these problems for people, to decrease the amount of time it takes them to innovate and create within their own capacities. So absolutely wonderful, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Loon, we're gonna switch gears just a little bit as we like to do on this show, and let's dive in a little bit about as it pertains to you striving to be the leader that you want to be, and as you're continuing to grow and develop this team of 22 that you have now. What's something that you're dealing with real time that we can have a conversation about?
Um, like what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Um, so most of the time right now is managing our team in terms of like problem solving, providing instructions for them, like
Mhm.
defining the technical route for my team. So that's about like 50% of the time. So problem solving is a large part of it. um, and like 30% of the time I think is on managing their career, or
Yeah.
help them grow in their career, to understand their need, listen to them, and help them grow and find out a way to help them. Some people may be interested in becoming an expert, so I need to find resources to help them become an expert. Some people may be interested in being a leader, so I need to find opportunities to give them, opportunities to lead. And we're
Yeah.
a small company, it's difficult to find such opportunities.
Right.
But I find a way, they can lead the interns, our interns. So I hired a lot of the interns, and have them, have some of the my people manage those interns. Imagine you are the manager of the interns, and practice your leadership using
Yeah.
that opportunity. Um, and 20% of my time is actually spent on business development right now. So I
Yeah.
manage our clients, especially in North America and in Europe, and manage some of the investor relationship, but that's a small part of it. Negotiating contracts and licensing agreements. That's the rest of my time is spent on. Yeah.
Great, great. Well, let's focus on one of those areas, and the one that I feel that maybe I can provide the most amount of value would be
Mhm.
when thinking through and deciding. Okay, I've got people that have, and I love your intentionality. I hope everybody paid attention. I love how you're like saying, I need to learn what each of my employees' dreams are. What are their aspirations? Where do they want to see themselves in the next, 3, 4, 5 years from now? And how can we as a company help them realize those dreams? I love that. So here at Elite, we like to offer a couple of ways that help this process along. So the first thing that we like to talk about is what we call one-on-ones.
Mm-hmm.
So a weekly one-on-one is part of what we call our meeting rhythms. So let me back up just a little bit and kind of paint the picture. So we have what we call the elite leader, or the elite business model, where we say, hey, as a business, this is the foundational work you need to do to be able to set yourself up for success. And it's a picture of a mountain. And at the top of this mountain is vision. And we see vision as threefold. It's your purpose, which is your why. Why do you do what you do? Why you're trying to do what you do? It's this 100-year out thing that you're trying to accomplish that you're never actually going to fully accomplish. Mm-hmm. But each and every day you're going to serve that purpose and you're going to get one step closer to it, right? And then your core values, that's who you are and how you show up. And then your mission, that is this destination that you're going to reach. It's saying, hey, in the next 3, 4, or 5 years, and you get real clear on what that time frame is, what are we going to go and accomplish, and what is reality going to look like once we arrive there? And that's this mission, right? And then you have this mountain, and down one side is your operational excellence. That's your day-to-day. You've created this machine. You've created this company. Now you need to feed that machine. That machine needs to keep running to keep you in business, right? That's what's driving everything. And then down the other side is this idea or concept of strategic, long-term strategic work, right? I need to think, okay, what strengths do I have that I need to leverage? What strengths do we need to develop to reach our mission? Because what got us here isn't going to get us there, mm-hmm. right? So we have to innovate. We have to make sure we stay relevant in the eyes of our customers. We have to pivot and adjust to stay viable in the marketplace, right? We have to do these things. And a lot of times we get stuck in this operational stuff and we don't think, hey, I need to take some time to be intentional about working on my strategic long-term work. And then across the bottom of this mountain is this idea or concept that I just brought up of meeting rhythms. That's the way that we balance the work that we do between the operational work and this strategic long-term work, is this idea or concept of meeting rhythms, setting an intentional time and place aside to talk about and discuss the things that are most important in both areas. So in those meeting rhythms, that's where this idea or concept of one-on-ones comes in. So one-on-ones, the way we look at them is we say, hey, a one-on-one is a weekly 30-minute meeting with everybody in the company. So it starts at the top and it cascades down. So as a leader, the three of you as co-founders, you would all meet with 5 people. And we say you don't want to do more than 5 because that's just too time consuming. So maybe pick 5 people that are most related in the area that you're working on. Mm-hmm. So like you very eloquently told us, hey, each of us co-founders, these are the areas that we work in. So then you choose 5 people in that area, and once a week, you'd meet with them for 30 minutes. The first 15 minutes is all about them. It's an opportunity for you to learn about them and their personal life, to learn about their hopes and dreams and their goals and their desires, and get to know them and what they really want and what they're trying to accomplish. And like I said, you dream a little bit with them. Mm-hmm. And you talk about, hey, where do you see yourself in the next 1, 2, 3 years from now? What about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, right? And then the next half is all about their performance there at work. It's an opportunity for them to report to you how they're doing on their day-to-day work. So we have another concept that we refer to as big threes. A lot of people see them as KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. And the way we look at it, we say a big 3 is the 3 most critical things needed for the success of the role that you currently occupy, right? What is it that has to be done in order to make sure that you're winning on a day-to-day basis? And then they have this opportunity in this one-on-one to say, yeah, I'm successfully accomplishing those 3 things. right? And it's this return and report. And what those one-on-ones does is it gives us an opportunity to learn, like you said, learn about them and what their desires are and what their hopes and dreams are. And it gives us an opportunity to see how they're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because if they're crushing it on their big threes and they're winning every single day,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to give them an opportunity to continue to grow and develop by bringing them along with us to help us with some of this long-term strategic work, right? They want to be a leader. Okay, why don't we have them come help us in some of our priorities that we have set aside
Mm-hmm.
in the strategic work, and lead a team of smarts owners. So people who are working on the task needed to accomplish this priority. So you then have this opportunity to give them a taste of what it looks like to be a leader and hold them accountable to it. To say, yeah, this is great. You're really good at this. Let's find a place for you, right? You had mentioned that you're also bringing in these interns and giving them an opportunity to lead and guide these interns. But this is just one other way that you can successfully give them an opportunity to lead and try out, so to speak, their ability to be a leader. Is okay, come help us with this priority work. Come help us build our future as a company, where we're headed,
Mm-hmm.
and do this important work that's going to help us make it to our mission and reach our mission. So that's one way that you can continue to help these individuals that are wanting and dreaming to be leaders, is to bring them along in that priority work.
So, in terms of that, performance review or performance metrics, I would like to pick up your brains on
Okay, yeah, please
your
do.
thoughts on KPI versus OKR. For my team, I've been using OKR because I feel like our technical development could not be so quantified by those very specific KPI metrics.
Right.
So we just set up the OKR goals, what kind of goals we would like to achieve. So this goal may be like a very vague, but like very broad, but we're able to track some of the whether the goal has been accomplished or has been partially accomplished, something like that. I think for my team is working well, because mainly manage the technical team, right? Uh,
Right.
but right now we're expanding our business team, so sales and marketing team.
Uh,
We were like wondering if the OKR still works for this kind of operation team. We wonder if the KPI is a better uh, performance metrics to track and motivate the our people. Um, but I'm not sure because we haven't
right.
led any business team ever. So we would like to see well what's your thoughts on that.
So whether it's KPIs or OKRs doesn't really matter in my point of view. The way I look at it is you just have to make sure that you have some key things in there. So number one, you have to clearly define what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So when we talk of big threes, that's why we use big threes here at Elite, because we don't want to choose between KPIs and OKRs. We just want to say, hey, let's just find out what are the three most critical things needed for the success of this role. And then this is how we figure them out. We say, okay, number one, let's clearly define what it is that we want them to do. So once we decide, okay, these things are critical, we need these things accomplished. Then you say, okay, is it results based or is it action based?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes the things that we need them to do, we need set results, and sometimes it's no, you just have to do particular actions, take steps, right? So that's the first step. Is it results based or actions based? Okay. The second step is, can I clearly measure the results? Because if it's not results based or action based, and if it's not clearly defined, and if it can't be measured, you don't want to have that be one of their either KPIs, OKRs, or big three, depending on what you decide. It doesn't really matter what you call them. You just have to make sure that it's something that's clearly defined. It's decided that it's results or action based, and that it can be clearly measured. Because there's nothing worse than showing up to work on a day to day basis
Mhm.
and not knowing what it looks like to win.
Mhm.
Right? So if I can't track my success in what I'm doing, if I can't clearly say, okay, I did this work and these are the results, or I took these actions and this is what happened, right? Action based or results based,
Mhm.
right? I did X number of these actions. Okay, I won. I did what I was supposed to do. Woohoo! Or I got these results. Yes, awesome. I'm crushing it. We need people to in our teams to feel like, hey, I'm actually making a difference, right? So the other thing you want to look at, so those are the three most critical things, right? Then the other thing you want to look at is you want to say, okay, and how are these things that I'm asking them to do, how are they directly related to our ability as a team to reach our mission?
Mhm.
I need to clearly identify with them how what they're doing makes a difference and impacts our ability to win as a team to reach our mission, right? So everything needs to be serving this purpose, and it needs to be clearly in line with achieving our mission, reaching that destination. As long as you're doing that, it really doesn't matter if you're doing the KPI style or the OKR style. It really doesn't matter. As long as it's clearly identified, you can measure it, and it's directly in line with, and there's clarity around how that impacts their ability to help the team succeed.
Mhm.
That's all that matters.
Got it. But
Yeah.
in terms of like very getting into like detail requirements or goals for a sales and marketing team, I think
So
for
sales
sales,
sales is easy,
yeah, sales is easy and you can set like
right?
revenues, how many clients, number of clients. But what about marketing? I think that's pretty tricky things to look at their performance because they do not directly interact with the clients. Yeah.
Right. But they have actions that they have to take, and they have different results that they need to get. So in marketing, it's okay, we did this campaign. This is how many leads were generated from that.
Hmm.
This is how many people actually clicked on this. This is how many people viewed this. This is how many, right? So that marketing is actually almost as easy as sales. It is a little bit different than sales, but it's still those same lines of, okay, but I know that as marketing, as we do a marketing campaign, we're creating this top of funnel. We're making sure that this funnel is set up. There's several things that you need to do. You need to ultimately, the whole point of marketing
Hmm.
is to have this constant stream of leads, right? And then the sales team comes in, they take those leads and they convert on them, right?
Yeah.
So sales, it's, hey, how many sales did I close? At the end of the day, the only thing that really matters in a sales role is how many sales did I convert, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Ultimately, that.
So our case is a little different for
Okay.
marketing because our leads actually do not come from marketing leads. It comes from our BD person, BD manager. So it's
Their
B2B
business
business.
development reps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
B2B business. So BD manager actually reach out to the clients and salespeople converted and um, marketing. So in our case, it's more like scientific, like storytelling. Um,
Gotcha. So it's
yeah,
more like brand recognition.
brand recognition, and also converting some of the very scientific materials into like layman materials, like some materials that are uh, more communicative to consumers, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's also, that could be a big three, right? One of those things that you're holding them accountable for is, okay, I need to do X number of these posts that
Hmm.
are easily digestible from the common person,
Hmm.
the layman, rather than only the scientific community being able to understand this,
Hmm.
and then coming up with a clear way to measure that by number of number of comments made on this particular post. If it's a social media post, let's say. So let's say this particular marketing, it's, hey, we're going to take this new discovery that we had, scientific, we're going to break this down into layman's terms, and then we're going to post that so that people can see, what we're doing as part of the brand recognition and understanding it. And to verify whether or not we're doing a good job of breaking that down is, okay, how many people read this? How many people commented? And that their comments were easily understanding what it was that we were trying to convey. Because if their comments are such that, oh, hey, they got it, they understand what we tried to say, okay, we did our job. That's one way that you could track. So that could be one of those indicators, right? And then another one could be, hey, I'm actually doing this work. I'm successfully taking these scientific terminologies and breaking them down into smaller, easily digestible phrases, words, posts, whatever. I'm doing X number of those, right? So it's understanding first and foremost, and this is with any position, really. What's my end result? What are we trying to accomplish? Then you back yourself into what's the three most critical things needed of this particular role based on what those end results are. Is the end results that we're getting this brand awareness out there so that more people understand who we are and what we're trying to accomplish? Well, okay, then those posts need to be clearly identifying that and successfully conveying that to our target market, right? Whether it's this particular social media page or this magazine or this article, whatever, just clearly identifying what are the end results that we want to achieve, and then what are the steps needed to get there. Is one way to do that.
Yeah.
Because once you understand what those end results are, then it's easy to say, okay, what is it going to take to get there? What actions do I have to take? So going back into a sales role, like I said, that's the easiest. It's, okay, I have to do X number of cold calls, your BDR. They have to reach out to X number of companies and their conversion rate is, if I do 100 calls, I get, let's say, 10 people willing to talk, have a sales call, right? So it's 100 calls equals 10 sales calls. And then the sales team, the next step with the salesman is, okay, for every 10 calls I have, I close one deal. So I know that if I need to close 5 deals this month, then I need to have 50 sales calls. And then the BDR now knows, okay, well, if he needs to have 50 sales calls, then that means I need to do 500 conversations with businesses. So then it just becomes an easy math formula. The same thing can work in the marketing. You just have to start with the end result. What is it that we're trying to accomplish? And then you can kind of work your way back into that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. You bet. Again, Loon, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the 7-Figure Journey podcast. I love your intentionality around, hey, I want to build my team. I want to help them realize their dreams, and then we're going to go after and accomplish something amazing together. And as long as you're passionate about that, we're going to help you along the way. So keep it up. That's a great example. I hope those who are listening in paid attention to that. That's how you build good teams, is you set up this culture, and then you protect your culture. Loon, you're this gatekeeper. You're saying, nope, if you're not passionate about what we're doing, this isn't the place for you. But if you're passionate, I'm not so worried about your skill set. We'll help you develop that. We just want you to be in line with what we're trying to accomplish, which is awesome. Loon, for those of you who are listening in, like what Loon's saying here, like what his company is trying to accomplish, want to learn more, want to reach out, Loon, what's the best way for them to reach out to you and MetaNovas Biotech?
So you can either follow our LinkedIn page. You just search MetaNovas Biotech. It will pop up on the LinkedIn. And also you can visit our website, www.metanovas.com. Yeah. We are happy to, show more and share more. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you heard it there, folks. Loon would love to hear from you, so reach out to him if you're interested. And as always, if you heard something in today's episode that you're like, hey, I need to work on that. That makes sense. I should try to do that. Please take action. It's not until we take action that we start to see the results that we want. And if you heard something on today's episode that you're like, I know somebody who could benefit from this, please share this episode with them. Let's create as much value and spread it as far as we can. Well, it's been my pleasure to be your host today on today's episode of the Seven Figure Journey podcast. And until next time, take care and continue building great businesses and winning out there in the market. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, John.
You bet. Thank you.